Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to bake in an improvised camp oven. Alright, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for coming back. Today I'm going to show you how to bake in an improvised camp oven. Now we're not doing some kind of huge baking here. And yes, you could use a Dutch oven. But if you're using a Dutch oven, you got to remember that thing is heavy. And if you're carrying it in a backpack while camping or in a bug-out bag, you're not going to get too far. The weight alone is kind of prohibitive in it. So I'm going to show you how you can do it a little bit lighter. Now I am using a cast iron pan today. You don't need to. I'm only using it because I haven't used it in a while and I wanted to kind of re-season it. You can use something like this. Real simple. Take that out, put this in, and bake away. But for today's video, for the purpose of it, we're going to use this as the lid of our oven over the top here, okay? Essentially what you're doing is setting up a little bit of a sealed environment to bake in, like that, okay? And that almost fits perfectly. It's kind of funny. This is a really old mess kit. This is probably, this and the little pot, one of the first items when it came to preparedness that I purchased, I want to say in '98. And I absolutely have never used this for anything. So this will be the first time I even use it for something. I kind of saw right away it wasn't the best of items and put it aside, said, maybe I'll have a need for it someday. Here's my someday. Anyway, I've shown you other ovens. I showed you that Brinkmann propane one. But again, it's huge. It's a big, huge oven. It's a big box, you know, and you stick your propane canister on the side and bake. I showed you the Coleman flat one. A little bit more compact, but still very heavy. You know, it folds flat and then it folds out into a big oven. And we baked some biscuits in that day. Today, for the use of this, I'm going to actually be doing some bannock because I wanted to make up some bannock bread for just around the house. If you're unfamiliar with bannock, it's an extremely simple thing to make. Some of you guys that are more experienced are probably rolling your eyes going, yeah, I know. This is for the newbies. Basically what I do is 2 cups of flour, 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder, a tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of shortening butter or margarine, doesn't matter, and 1.5 cups of lukewarm water. In mine today, I've added a little bit of the Thrive onions, the diced onions. This is my pack, so yeah, I'm going to get a couple of loaves out of that. A couple of tablespoons of the Thrive diced onions, and a little bit of garlic powder. So this is kind of a garlic onion bannock. And for those unfamiliar, it's probably, I heard it referred to as Indian fry bread. And the stove we're using today. Some of you may wonder, I'll put a link down below in my Amazon store to this. This is a Winter Eco 8 kerosene burner. I do have a review on it if you search my videos about a year or 2 years ago. I think it was 2015 actually. But maybe it was 16. I did a review on this this kerosene burner. It's a neat little bit of kit. For today's purpose of what we're doing here, it's kind of more like you're at your bug out location and you don't have an oven. Because again, you wouldn't be carrying this in a backpack and you definitely wouldn't be carrying cast iron in a backpack. So, I'm going to light up the stove and we're going to get our bannock ready and I'll bring you back then. Alright, we got the stove lit. That thing is hot. Nice and hot. I'm going to put this on here just to, well, not yet. Actually, we're going to get the bannock bread out first. Don't want to get that on there. Now, a little suggestion. Get a little bit of olive oil. Put it on your hands before dealing with this dough. It can be very sticky. And I don't mean a ton, you know, just a tiny little bit. Just so it doesn't stick to your hands. Now, like I said here, I'm going to be making a couple hunks of this stuff. Oh, that smells good with the garlic and onion in there. So, get yourself out a nice piece like that, say. You know, that's good. Plop it into your pan. I may put a little bit more in because my pan's a little bit bigger than I expected. Okay. There. And just spread it out in your pan. Like that. And I'm leaving it a little thicker because I want to test the baking properties of this. Of course, this is fry bread, and we don't even need to cover it. We could probably just fry it and flip it. But I want to test the baking properties. I want to see if I get the inside of this thick piece of bread cooked. So, I'm going to pop it on there. And now with my very slippery hands, cover it up. And let's see what happens. I'm going to give it a few minutes, check it, flip it, and show you as it goes. So give me a minute or two here to get it going, and I'll bring you back when we got some progress. Hey guys, just as a side note, while we're waiting for this to bake, I told you in one of my videos you'd probably see some of my spoon carving handiwork from the thing I reviewed yesterday, and you can check this video out. It's the one right before this one, if you're watching this months from now. There's my little piece of artwork. Not bad for a second attempt at spoon carving. It's kind of small, but I wanted a small little serving spoon. Still needs to be cleaned up a little bit and sanded. But, hey, I was pretty happy. Anyway, back to the baking. While this is going, I did forget one more tip. If you're baking something and you don't want it to burn on the bottom, see, with this bannock bread, we kind of want it crispy on the bottom. What you can do with the bottom of your pan is stack things there. A little bit of tin foil. I use this to light this oven, but these are those little chopsticks. You can break these up and put it down at the bottom, just to give it a little insulation from heat. Even some rocks, after you've wiped them off, will give your food a little bit of insulation for heat, so when you cover it, it's not directly on the heat. With the bannock bread, we kind of want that to burn on the bottom and get crispy, but we don't want everything to. So if you're baking a cake or something like that, you may want to do it differently. All right, I'm going to take off the top because we flipped it already. So you can see, just by flipping it and having it on a very low heat, you're able to get a nice little brown on the bottom. Now I'm going to do the middle. Now once this gets hot enough, this pan will hold the heat. This is cast iron skillet, so I can almost turn off the stove and let the skillet bake the rest of it once I get it to temperature. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes and bring you back when we got a little more progress. All right, so it's been about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. I've turned off the stove completely. One of the things with this particular type of stove is you don't want to blow it out. You just kind of want to turn it down until all the wicks are inside, and it eventually will go out. So this cast iron skillet is still incredibly hot. So we're going to leave it in there for a few more minutes, and we're going to let it bake. We're going to see how we get with the inside. The inside looks baked, as you can tell. And that tastes amazing. So I'm going to give it about 5-10 more minutes in there, and we'll pull it out, and we'll try a piece. All right, we got it out of the pan. It feels nice and puffy on the inside there, too. That's really where I want to test. Let's just pull a slice out of this. I'm working with a very tiny cutting board here. Probably should have gotten a bigger cutting board. But let's take a piece out. Well, look at that. Nice and fresh and hot. And it is baked fully in the middle. Try a little butter on it. Get on there. Came out perfect. So, this method will work very, very well. And as I said too, if you're looking to do like a cake or maybe biscuits you don't want to burn, or bake a loaf of bread, you can always line the bottom of this with something. Tin foil, even, let me get this out here, even another pan like that inside to protect it from burning. Maybe you want to put it up on a couple of rocks or something. And this method will work awesome with baking stuff. Let me move the camera up there so you can see that. You put this in here. I'm sitting here talking and you guys aren't even seeing it. And put a couple of rocks in here, whatever, underneath this, like that. So you're still up in here. This is holding your heat in. And this is your cover on top, like that. And if you need it to bake on top, if it's something you're not flipping, you can also take some rocks after you've heated them in this and put them on top and kind of make it like some charcoal on the top to heat it up. But this method works really good making bannock bread, making biscuits, making anything you do rather simply, and comes out pretty good. So anyway, that's the video for today. A nice improvised, quick little oven. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in the stove, like I said, I'll put the link down below. They're about 18 bucks now. When I bought them, they were 13, so they've gone up a little bit. But still, they're awesome stoves. They work really, really well. More for a bug-out location or your house, you know, as long as you have enough ventilation in where you're cooking. But a little big for a backpack or bug-out. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the Amazon store. Just click the link. If you're not buying anything in the store, clicking the link and shopping like you normally would will still let us pick up a couple of extra pennies here and there. Help you bring more cool gear to the channel. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link down below. I did use the Thrive onions in this bread, and came out really, really nice. So don't forget to check that out for all your freeze-dried food needs. And we'll talk to you soon. Stay safe and stay prepared.